Let's get this party started.
Coverage tight, spotlight on tomorrow. Who you with? Trust, you'll be delighted that you followed. At Phirst Contention, the invention. We debate sports, of course we should mention. What's that? We cover games, we don't play suspensions. We 100, so if your star's missing, we let you know your squad surely gone fishing. We never fish though, no, not our motto. We sport on deals, on court, on fields. The victors, the vengeance, the legends, latest invention.
Salutations, folks. Welcome back to yet another episode of Phirst Contention. We are back. I'm your host, Sosina. Here with me, we've got Marvin Banks.
I said, hola, senors and senoritas.
And we've got Steven Davis Jr.
Yes, sir. What's going on, everybody? Strive higher every day.
However you are watching, we appreciate you coming in. As you can see, we've got a lot of energy and whatnot. It is Super Bowl week, so Phirst Contention, we are here with our Super Bowl picks for Super Sunday. Peyton Manning versus first name Russell, last name Wilson. Broncos, Seahawks, scheduled for the latest edition of the Super Bowl in New Jersey, at MetLife Stadium. Outdoor game. You know, we got the #1 offense versus the #1 defense. I mean, Steve, we kind of know where your loyalty lies, like we said, but what do you see happening in this game?
Man, can't get no better than that. #1 O versus the #1 D. But I'm going to have to give the edge to the more experienced Peyton Manning. I mean, he has been in 2 Super Bowls, won 1, lost 1. And now this is another chance for him with a new team, with the offense that's been explosive all year. The only thing that's going to hold him back is if it's cold outside and he can't handle it. I'm not going to say he can't handle it because he's been in Denver for 2 years now, so he should have gotten used to the cold by now if he hadn't before. So I'm still going to pick Denver to win this game, but it's going to be hard because this defense is legit, and they're going to do whatever they can to try to stop him.
Marv, how do you see this thing shaking up?
Well, I see this shaking out as Peyton Manning getting ready to ride off into the sunset. But before he gets there, there's a man named Richard Sherman to take it away. Unfortunately enough, I am going to go with the Seattle Seahawks to beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl. And my reason is when you think about when you lead the league in passing and when you lead the league in touchdowns, take a look at this number. Tom Brady and Dan Marino. And what all happened when they got to the Super Bowl? They lost. So I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks to win this game. And Peyton Manning's playoff record, touchdown and interception-wise, it's not anything to brag home about. And now you're giving this Seahawks defense 2 weeks to prepare for Peyton Manning. I predict this to be a very low-scoring game. I'm going to go 2017 Seattle.
Ooh, you even threw in the score. I mean, I cannot stand here and just be a byperson of all this. So, of course, I got to throw in my thoughts. Marvin, I love what you got to say, man. You know, Russell Wilson, man, he's on a tear, man. He's beating MVPs like it's nothing. He's going against all these quarterbacks and just showing who's boss, man. If he wins, he's going to be a legend killer. But you've got your experience on the other side in Peyton Manning, man. Just a wealth of knowledge. Been there, done that. I think your receiver obviously goes to the Broncos, but then you've got that defense for the Seahawks. And now I think this defense, while they were #1, they played virtually the same cover 3-man like amoeba type defense, but they were so good against other teams that were able to pull it off. I don't think you can do that to Peyton Manning. But you're outside and you got that pass rush. But their O-line may be underrated. They do got a bit of a running game, and they've got more options on offense. I mean, every single pick up, they pretty much debunk each other. But you know what? I think the experience will win. And I think you have more ingredients on the side of the Broncos. You know what happens when you have better ingredients? Better pizza, Papa John's. So that's right, I will take Peyton Manning. He will get it done, and he will win the Super Bowl, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest quarterbacks, including playoffs, because this will knock off a bunch of those losses. Thoughts?
Well, when people talk about the Seahawks, all they talk about is LOB, the Legion of Boom, which you have to talk about. But what a lot of people don't talk about is that furious pass rush that can get to Peyton Manning. They're one of the few teams that can actually rush 4 people and drop 7 into coverage and make Peyton Manning run the football with no Sean Moreno, make him be patient, and they're also good tacklers too as well. So I believe that when you play a defense like that where you can rush 4 and drop 7, and you have the cover corners and the pass rush to get there, I think it's going to cause problems for Peyton Manning in the pocket.
Yeah, but what you just said, I mean, for Peyton Manning to kind of see and he's also getting 2 weeks to prepare for Seattle's defense. So I'm pretty sure they're getting No Sean Moreno ready to run the ball. And the good thing for them is that No Sean Moreno's been running the ball well this year. And the one thing that we do know about Seattle is they have been susceptible of giving up big games on the ground this year out of nowhere. So this could be a No Sean Moreno type of game plan to kind of set up some play action to give Peyton Manning some more time to throw the ball and kind of keep the 8-man out of the box and try to go after the receivers and see what Richard Sherman can do against Demaryius Thomas and Eric Decker.
We go from one running back to another. We'd be doing Marshawn Lynch a disservice if we didn't talk about how amazing he's been, obviously, this year. True. Not to mention, this man finally was endorsed by Skittles. I don't know what took so long, but Skittles has also recently endorsed Marshawn Lynch, in case y'all didn't know. So, but sneakily, that Broncos defense actually does have a good rushing defense, perhaps because they let you throw all over them. But, they got linebackers that fly around. So, I mean, I think it should be a good game. I mean, do you guys think it's going to be close? Do you guys think it's going to be one in blowout fashion?
No, it's going to be a close game. I think, like Mark said, maybe something along the lines of like 21-17 or, come down to maybe 3 points at the end of the game. Might have to come to a field goal. That's the type of brutal match it probably will be. But it'll be horrible if it is snowing like it was in that Philadelphia-Detroit game. It's going to be hard to watch. It's going to be a running game the whole time. And it may be 10-7 by the end, instead of 21-17.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, Steve, because if the weather is bad and if the weather is frigid, the team to go with has to be Seattle. It has to be Seattle because they're built to go into a hostile environment like that where the weather might be crappy, it might be snow coming from all over the place. And I just believe that their game travels better with the nasty weather than a Broncos game, than with Peyton Manning sitting back there and throwing a football. I believe with Russell Wilson and Beast Mode, you have another dual threat where you can run the football too as well. The only big game that the defense is giving up was to Kaepernick. When you have a running back playing quarterback, of course you're going to be more susceptible to those things too as well on the ground game. But at the end of the day, they still forced numerous turnovers on the 49ers too as well, including Richard Sherman's mediocre receivers comments after the tip ball and everything.
Good points. All good points. I think it's also important to bring up, while their game may travel better, this is a team that looks a little different when they're away from the 12-man and out of that stadium in Seattle. But that's why the game is played. Well, you heard it, folks. We've got Marvin riding with Russell, last name Wilson in the Seahawks. You've got Steve, of course, riding with, I'm not even going to say Peyton Manning and the Broncos. We've got Steve riding with Eric Decker and the Broncos.
Gophers.
And I mean, I to be honest, I was on the fence. I ordered a pizza. And if it got here before the show, I was going to pick the Broncos. If it got here after, I was going to pick the Seahawks. But it came before, so I'm going to pick the Broncos. So, I mean, hope everyone's excited like we are. Get ready for what should be an amazing, amazing Super Bowl game.
Before we log off, I want to give a special shout out. Dominic Jones, please go check out the website. IamDominicJones.com. Go check it out. Great website. Start local and global.
Do it now. Do it.
Do it now.
Ride with Phirst Contention, that's full throttle in. We sport on deals, on court, on fields. The victors, the vengeance, the legends, latest invention. Phirst Contention. We sport on deals, on court, on fields. The victors, the vengeance, the legends, latest invention. Game face grit, like born for playoffs. Say it all in small time like payoff.